All right, number one. So I'm a server and I worked up until the week before I gave birth, 37 weeks. Around week 35, I was so big that I felt so great and loved working as my husband was on deployment and I wanted to be out of the house. So when I was 35 weeks to the date, I had a group of old people at one of my tables. They asked me all sorts of questions. One being, why is your husband making you work while you're this pregnant? I laughed. I seriously thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. I tried explaining to them that I loved working and my job and my coworkers, and that I pretty much lived at work because the walking helped my pregnancy pains. And they were having none of it. They said things like, that's no man making you work like this. You should be at home in bed. Your husband should respect you more. Oh my gosh. I don't know if this is funny. Different generations are funny. That's probably one of the funniest things that ever happened. Okay. I have so much to say about this, but first, she has such an awesome perspective because so many people could get easily defensive and mad about this. Me maybe being one of them. And so I think that she like found it so funny and was just like this other generation, like, oh my gosh, that's really funny because I don't know if I would respond the same way. But I think that's good for her. Okay, number 2, this girl says, and I'm keeping all these anonymous, by the way, because they're from our Facebook group. So I just like to read anonymously. I lost a bowl of ice cream while eating it once. Girl, I've lost a lot of things. I don't know if I've lost something while eating it, but I'm not judging because I've lost some, like, I'll bring like a snack over to the couch or something and I'll be like, wait, where did I put it? And it's literally like in my hand or it's like next to me or something. So I get that. Number 3, I cried because I thought my whole family hated me because no one was liking my posts on Facebook. Turns out I was the only one who could see my posts for 3 months. Ooh, those Facebook settings are kind of tricky sometimes. We don't always know what people can see in that. And that's pretty funny. I'm glad I'm glad it came out, someone like either brought it up or asked about it. So you didn't hold on to like all this resentment during your pregnancy and then, problem solved. Okay, next one. When my husband and I were on the last day of our honeymoon, we went 10 months after the wedding. We went out for lunch on Cocoa Beach Pier. I had a bad headache from our deep sea fishing trip earlier that morning. So we thought we'd get a bite to eat and that would help. With the headache, I obviously wasn't feeling the best. For some reason, the only thing I could eat at that time was pickles. So my husband asked the waitress if she could bring us a side of pickles and stated that I was 3 months pregnant. That night, we found out I was actually pregnant. I was 4 weeks at the time. Wait, so she didn't actually know she was pregnant. She just said it so that the waitress would bring them. That's actually pretty funny. I'm like responding in real time here, by the way. It was your body just telling you, like, girl, we need some pickles right now. That's awesome. All right, that's all I got for this week, guys. I could tell a funny story. I'll tell one really quick. So I am a very vivid dreamer. My whole life, I've been a very vivid dreamer. Like I'll wake up and I'll remember every detail that happened. I can read in my dreams. I can see colors. I can, see everything. I don't know, all that stuff. So recently I had a dream that part 1, I was able to like visualize my whole like delivery. And I saw the baby and like I saw like features of the baby and it was crazy. It was like real. So then part 2 of that dream, I was bringing the baby to see my family. And of course, it wasn't where my parents live currently. It was the house I grew up in. And I was at their house, but the baby was a bunny. And it was literally hopping around their living room like a bunny. It wasn't like I had the baby in my arms and it looked like a bunny. It was literally a bunny hopping around. And in my dream, I just remember being so confused. And I'm like on my phone, like Googling, like like, how does this happen? Like I knew it was weird. And I'm like, Googling, I'm like, can humans give birth to bunnies? Like, how does this happen? And in my Google or in my dream, I could read Google searches and people were like, yeah, it's very common. If you live near bunny fields, bunnies can, you can somehow give birth to a bunny. And I remember being so disappointed because I was like, I went through all of this and it's only a um yeah, that like I've told a lot of friends and really I've cracked them up because of how ridiculous my dreams are. But also I grew up having bunnies for pets. So in one dream analysis thing I read, it said that you sometimes tend to dream about a pet you had when you're pregnant because it's like your body saying like you've taken care of things before and this might be a little bit different, but you know how to nurture or something. So I don't know. That was really funny though. And waking up was like funny, but it was also kind of a relief that I didn't give birth to a bunny because there'd be a lot of questions. All right, guys, that's all I have for you this week. Hope you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving week. Remember to take a break for yourself if you need it. Remember what you're grateful for and enjoy your day. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so grateful for all of you. Have a great week, and I will see you next week.